Hi everybody, Daman Mehta here, and thank you for once again joining me on my journey as I go through my favorites list on fanfiction.net, reread old stories, and see if they deserve to stay on my list or not. Let's see where we're up to. We're up to May 2009, so making progress, That's a bit of a jump from the last one, huh? Okay. But yeah, so let's dive in. First one is Haruhi Suzumiya fic called The Alternate World of Nagato Yuki by Rick777. And this is basically a simple love story that really only has the wrappings of a Haruhi fic. Yeah, this one's a little odd. It's odd because it didn't feel like a Haruhi fic to me. And I think that's just because I've gotten used to certain tropes from other writers of Haruhi fics, and stylistic flourishes that I just didn't see here. Kyon's inner narration and monologue was not present, and also the base plot and the character reactions didn't really match what I felt was a Haruhi fic. Granted, this is in the Disappearance world, so that's where they're supposed to be more standard anime, standard high school rom-com stuff. But yeah, it felt like the alien stuff that does get in there felt more perfunctory than anything else. And I don't know, aside from, so that disconnect was always there for me when I was reading it. Aside from that, though, it's an okay story. It basically it's trying to be like a fix fic where it's okay, here's this couple, I want them to I want Yuki and Kyon to get together. All right, let's do that, and while we're at it, tie up every loose end and stuff, or everything, so that nothing becomes a problem ever again. And if you want that then this is fine. It's not amazing, but I think this is a perfectly fine fic for that. Just like I said, my hang-ups on this kept me from really diving into this as a Haruhi fic, and that's kept me away. So I don't think it's bad, and if you like simple romance, go for it, but this is not going to stay on my list. Alright, next is A Very Hairy History by Grenule7777. A lot of people's sevens on this thing. Okay, so this is a one-shot comedy fic where Harry's descendant, late descendant many years later, uses a potion to reach back in time and find out what actually happened during his life, because the world's been destroyed and they don't know any history. So aside from the beginning and the very the first paragraph and the last paragraph, which take place in that future time, the rest of this is a one-sided conversation with Harry after the events of the story, where he's just talking to his descendant and just answering questions and stuff like that, and we're only hearing his side, which is fun. It's mildly entertaining, seeing that how all the misconceptions that are there and stuff like that. The actual canon events also differ, so we get to hear some amusing bits about that as well. And yeah, it's a fine distraction of a story, but it's on the lower end of the amusing scale, I would say. It's the kind where you don't get any huge laughs, but you will be getting a bunch of smiles and chuckles here and there. Because of that, it's a fun distraction and fun enough, but not funny enough to stay on my list. So yeah. But check it out if you want a quick laugh. Alright, now we go to a Naruto crossover with Evangelion, where Ikari Lee, the Green Beast by Magnus 9284. And basically it's it's Evangelion, but Lee is actually Shinji, so Rock Lee replacing the main character. And Rock Lee's a fun guy. I did enjoy him whenever I saw Naruto, and he's a fun character to be around. And having him replace Shinji immediately changes the tone of the story. It basically forces everybody... Sorry, I had something in my throat. So the tone of the story immediately changes to more of a comedic and lighthearted one, because the oppressiveness and the, horrible insecurities that Shinji has is nowhere present in Lee. And so, or at least so Lee does have some insecurities, but he, instead of showing them or acting on them, he hides them behind boastful bravado. And because of his success in this, with his fighting and stuff, it basically quickly becomes actual bravado and stuff. So that whole aspect is pretty much gone, and then everybody else just starts falling into his rhythm. So it's really fun, like the main story just becomes a comedic, like a rom-com, romantic comedy, and you get like tons of ninjas just keep coming into the Katsuragi household and like squatting in the place. Gaara's there for like all the time. He becomes a normal side character. Naruto, the rest of Rock Lee's team show up for a bit. Naruto and Hinata are there for a while, and that is a fun little exchange that happens. I enjoy this a lot. It becomes a bit more serious near the end, but rather than feeling like out of place, it just gives off like, okay, this is the dramatic conclusion to this story. I enjoy this a lot, and if you like comedic Eva Fix or are a fan of Rock Lee, you'll enjoy this a lot too. So yeah, this is gonna stay on my list. Alright, another Naruto crossover now, this time with Nagima, with Kitsune on Campus by Ashaman of Fire. So this is I don't know, when I was just even rereading this and thinking about it, I was like, this is an also and fic kind of thing, where it's just, okay, it's a crossover in that, okay, here's this guy, in this case Naruto, and we're going to insert him into the events of Nagima. What's that going to do? Nothing much. I laughed at his antics and like getting caught up with Class 2A's, rhythm and stuff, but I'll laugh. But other than that, it's just Nagima with an extra body thrown in. Like, okay, all the events of Nagima are still taking place, and even though Naruto, and this is like supposedly like super powerful Naruto or something, but because he's been asleep for so long, he's weakened, and he stays weakened as whenever he's on campus and stuff. So he doesn't impact the plot in any major way. He just becomes another person fighting next to Neji. And okay, fine. So the only thing that's different than or new, and that has to be really amazing, is the character interactions with Naruto and everybody else. And they're okay, but it also keeps cutting back to the same canon stuff that Naruto's not there to see a lot of the time. Or, well, no, he's there, but he doesn't interact with, so he essentially becomes us watching the base anime. Like, it's nothing super annoying, so it's just a little frustrating that nothing's being done with this. So basically, if you just want to see canon Nagima go with a dash of Naruto, you'll be served fine until this thing abruptly ends, because it didn't continue, it's unfinished, it ends in the middle of the festival arc. So if you want just that, fine, but if you wanted to see Naruto actually impact the plot in some way, you're going to be disappointed, and this is not going to stay on my list. Alright. Next one is the last new fic that Immortal had put out on here, which is the Bleach Omake Files. Immortal, if you had followed this series, or basically Immortal was one of the first guys to create this idea of a fic that was a time loop was occurring, but you're not seeing the whole story of the time loop. It's just, here's this thing, and it was a prompt for people to just say, just come up with random stories that'll happen at random loops in this infinitely looping series. And he's done a bunch of them. Like, I think his original 4 were like Naruto, it was like Ranma, Slayers, Naruto, and Harry Potter, I think, were the original 4. And then now this one is Bleach, where this is just 4 chapters of just the loop fix, as opposed to like the Harry Potter one where there was other omakes involved. And it's fun. Like, I love this concept, and I enjoy all these snippets of loops. The stupid kind of comedy is really, really my kind of thing, and this whole aspect is just super fun. I really enjoy this. I'm actually kind of... I think there's only one other type of this fic on my favorites list, but that wasn't made by Immortal, because other people picked up the baton and started taking it. So, but yeah, this is going to stay on my list, and if you like this kind of stuff with the Bleach twist, have at it. Alright, more Naruto, again, now with Son of a Mercenary by Mr. Alaska. And this is Naruto gets raised by Deadpool fic. And so I like Deadpool. And I know his comedy, the style of his comedy and stuff can be aggravating to some. It's not for everybody. Some people just find it annoying. I enjoy it. I like it a lot. I've been stupid humor and stuff. And that's why I did not like this fic. So the number one sin for any Deadpool fic for me is like, if you're not funny, if you don't make me laugh, then it's like, why are you using Deadpool? And this did not make me laugh. All of the comedic bits that he does even is just a little bit of fourth wall breaking, which wasn't done cleverly. There's no like references. It's just like fourth wall breaking, like, oh, like, I'm gonna do this. Why? Because Mr. Alaska told me I will, and he's the author, and that's it. Like, and then the other lol, so random, just shouting random shit. But there is like, I know a lot of the people who don't like that part are like, yeah, that's his humor. What? Don't you like that? It's like, there's still a way to be clever about shouting stuff or using references. There's an art to it. But yeah, this was just really irritating. The formatting, especially in the early half of this, is like really bad. It's all just huge blocks of text with dialogue sprouted in the middle, which is not how you're supposed to format a story. Spelling errors abound, and the story wasn't good enough for me to ignore those. And the dialogue is god awful. And I don't just mean Deadpool's. I mean everyone. Like, everyone is super straightforward, and where, like, 4-year-olds will just come like, I like you, let's get married, and like, okay, actually, that's the best. Sometimes 4-year-olds do say that. Another one would just be like, everybody just, it's kind of like, if you've ever seen the movie The Invention of Lying, and that was one thing I didn't like about that movie either, where just everybody's just saying the truth and whatever's coming out of whatever's on the first thing on their mind. They're just like, like, why is this? Like, oh, I just met you for the first time. Let me just tell you my entire backstory. Or, hey, you're hot. I want to bone you, and I want to do this. And like, oh, you're so cute. And it's just like, it was just really annoying and infuriating and bad. I did not enjoy this. I don't think anybody really will. And I think you can just skip this, and it's going to get kicked off my list. Alright, two more. This is Spare Parts by Andrew Joshua Talon, and this is, again, so in my last update was Ramen Doodles by the same author, which was his Naruto collection of half-baked ideas, and this is the Evangelion collection. A lot shorter. There's only 5 ideas here, 2 of them being multi-part, which is why it gets up to 7 chapters. But I still enjoyed them a lot. I I've liked this guy's writing. I wish some of these had continued, but coming back, I would definitely like to come back and see these again and again. They're really fun, and so yeah, simple as that. It's gonna stay on my list. And finally, for this video, we have "President for a Day" by Drake Angelus. All right, so I think this is the first time DBZ fic has come up on my list. And so, 2 things about me. Dragon Ball Z was the first anime that I had ever seen. And Vegeta is my favorite character from that anime. This story is great because it's about Bulma getting sick and then Vegeta filling in for her as the president of the company for a day. And it's great because we see Vegeta's intellectual side and his caring side with his family, along with his intimidating side, which actually works because he's intimidating lower people, but we see he actually has a sharp mind and a sense for how to deal with people, which is really fun. And even though this this is a fanfic and stuff, and it's something we've never seen. This scenario never happened in the show. Honestly, the writing and the characters feel so on point that this could just be a filler episode, and no one would bat an eye. I'd think like, oh, this was a pretty fun episode, a nice little change of pace, you know. I really liked it a lot. If you like DBZ at all, and especially if you like Vegeta, you should definitely give this a look, because you'll see a great side of him that doesn't get a lot of attention. I love it a lot. It's going to stay on my list. And there we go. Another 8 fix down. 900 more to go. God, saying that always discourages me, but I'm going to keep going at this. If you guys like this, please leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to keep up to date when I post these, please subscribe. And link, as always, links to all these stories are in the description, so if you want to read them and you decide I'm an idiot, please read them and comment and say, hey, screw your opinion, this is a really good story, or whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.